Ooh, might make your head blow off.
Hey yo, it's a talk show host, Kana Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spade, Alpha Male God, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter.
Say it with me now. Alpha Male God, 51 Spade, a.k.a. the ninja you love to hate. I'm in the building.
You know what we do. We debate two topics in 1 hour, so we're going to dive in. The first topic is respect with rejection. Okay, so that should be pretty self-explanatory. How to reject with respect probably would have been a better way of explaining. And then the second topic is basically the value of coochie or lack thereof. And we're going to end on that topic because I'm sure that's going to spill into a very long conversation. So respect with rejection. I think this is going to be a riveting topic for people who are out there dating, who are, first of all, trying to get the courage to tell someone, hey, I'm interested, join me for a drink, can we go out for dinner? It already takes an extreme amount of confidence to do that for some people. And so to get someone's phone number these days and then to get on the other side of that and get ghosted, or they gave you the wrong number, or even being called thirsty, I think is out there too. There's a rumor going around that you are afraid of doing too much, and what do people actually constitute as thirsty? So that's the conversation. That's the first topic. For you, I don't feel like approaching women is hard for you. I think you can go right for it. But I think the hard part, I think for men and women, is just afterwards, where it goes from there.
You was a man in your former life?
No, I wasn't a man, but I have a lot of male friends.
Okay. I have a lot of female friends, and I don't know what it's like to have a period. I'm just showing you that your logic don't make sense. This is why we always start off. I try to give people just how it sounds. Like, how you going to tell a man?
I'm not. I'm just saying.
That's what you just said.
I think both people can equally say that the rejection now is like, that's why it's a topic. It's a big part of the dating game right now, and I think there's a lack of respect when it comes to being able to say no. For me, no isn't negative, because why get involved with someone or spend that $200 check on somebody that's really not interested? So I'd rather you just say, nah, you ain't my type, or I got a boyfriend. I'd rather you just tell me up front rather than give me your number and me now. And there's a blurred line between now, am I being consistent and pursuing you, or now I'm at the borderline of being called thirsty at the same time. And really, it's an anxiety thing when you like, okay, I already sent her a text, or I already sent him a text. And then if he hasn't responded, before you'll send the second one, you question yourself. Am I doing too much? Because I sent him a text 6 hours ago. He's seen it, so he hasn't texted me back. But on the other side of that, if you're the one that's supposed to pursue, so just say I switch from a young man to a young lady who is pursuing, let's say, another young lady, and she's the aggressor. Sometimes it's like you don't want to do too much, and you definitely are gonna look at yourself like, hold on, I know Shorty's seen my joint. I ain't calling her or texting her till she texts me back. And so then that whole process just becomes a bit wear and tear, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, I understand that and I get it. I guess I would have to start like this, like for me to kind of get down to just the conversation of it all. I seen a panel of women that basically, from the woman's perspective, they say, like, even if a guy, the reason they ghost guys or the reason they will give the number and they know that they're not interested is that they don't like the aggressiveness. that the man would give to them. Like once basically she was saying like, well, guys don't like to take no for an answer. So like, I guess once a guy says, hey, what's up, mom? I'm I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
Well, what's up, mom? You know what I'm saying? And she says, I got a boyfriend. And to me, I think that's one of the major things is because instead of just being nice, you know what I'm saying? Someone is speaking to you this and that. And it could be both ways because some women feel like guys don't really know how to speak to women either. So it must, I guess, like, what was it, cat calling, or kind of in that realm where women might feel a little like uneasy about it. But it's based upon, I guess, if they like the guy or not. Because I've seen cat calls which are the exact same way, and some women respond to it perfectly fine, and then some women hit it with, immediately just trying to diss them and stuff like that. So I don't think it's easy. Nobody likes rejection, whether you fucking male, whether you female.
Exactly.
No one likes the rejection part. But my thing is, we at least got to get to the point where we honest. Like me, just giving an example, like if I'm really not attracted to the person, I'm not giving my number out. I don't know what excuse women giving, saying that I rather give the number. To me, that's a lot of work. I'd rather give you my number.
And then curve you.
I'm not interested in you. And then curve you. And then like, I'm rather, instead of just saying, I'm just not interested in you. Whether you have a boyfriend or not. And obviously, if you have a boyfriend, you have a legit excuse. But to watch this panel of women just say, I'd rather just get a number and block the person. I'm just like, I don't know, like, what does that say about you? Like, I'm not scared to turn somebody down. Some woman approached me, hey, can I have your number? And I'm not interested in her. No, I ain't interested in it. I'm not finna give you my number just for you to call me when I know you finna call me. Like,
Right.
that sounds ridiculous.
So I think this would be the opportunity to pose a question, because a lot of people tune in. There's got to be some women that are tuned in right now that have done that have given their number, and then when the guy texts you or called you or FaceTime you, whatever he did, you talk shit and hit ignore. I want to know why you did it, because it doesn't make any sense to me at all.
That's what
I don't
I'm saying.
get it.
I seen it was like 5 women. All of them were saying the same thing, but their excuse behind it was, well, if you tell a guy no,
Then they get aggressive with you.
Yeah, they get aggressive with you.
And that's why we came up with the topic, respect in rejection. Because I think, and I hate to say this because I always come out on the male side of things with perspective. But I think women just like attention. They like that moment.
Attention.
And if they reject you or they tell the truth in the first 5 seconds, they don't get that drink. They don't get the attention, you hitting their ass every time they walk by. Because when you're out, some women, that's what they're out for. They're out to be social, and they're out for that moment to soak in that attention. So they don't want to be a bitch the 5 minutes. They got there at 9. They can't be a bitch at 9:05 and they leaving at 3. You got to play it out. So you play the game, and you've given your number. You've gotten a couple of drinks. You've had your fun. And then the next day it's like, his breath was stank. Not, you know what I'm saying? I think if I'm putting myself in their shoes, that's what they're doing. And I'm not saying that's cool, but as a woman, if I'm thinking, have I ever been in that moment where I'm just somewhere to have a good time? And if I turn these guys off too early, it's going to ruin my night. So I don't want to be called a bitch. I don't want to be called a hoe. I don't want to be called out. So I'm going to play the game so I could be comfortable. And then the next day, I kind of have to, make adjustments based on what I did that night. I mean, am I right?
No, because I got a lot to unpack what you just said. But I can't change
I'm
what
just
you
trying
said,
to make it make sense.
and it don't. If no one has ever told you that, I'm finna tell you, it don't make a slightest bit of sense of what you just said.
Okay.
And that's cool. I'm glad we having a conversation because I'm quite sure, we on live right now, so there's plenty of people that can chime in, especially like women, because I would like to hear the feedback. But I just wanted to give you an example of some shit. That example that you gave just now, okay, it's a lot of different ways to really make that make sense. But I'm going to tell you where you started to lose me, where it didn't make sense. So you get to a club, you in a club, And just like men, I'm assuming women look around the club too. And then there's guys that you like, no. And then there's guys that you like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Guys get in there and do the same shit, you know, yes and no. But what you said was, well, I don't want someone to ruin my night. So instead of accepting a drink, just one verbatim, one thing that you're talking about. One guy approach you, you have no interest in him. And I know this, that most women, when they look at, they know if they're going to have sex with you immediately. That's like 60 seconds or less. Like, I would fuck him or no, I wouldn't even fuck with him. So the guy approach you, you have no interest in him. I don't see him sexually, this and that, but you want a drink. And hold on. I'll let you talk. You want a drink. So I don't want this drink to fuck up my night, so I'll take the drink from this dude I have no interest in versus a guy that you would have interest in. Now that's just one scenario. You know what I'm saying? Now obviously you can't make the person who you walk in and you like him, you can't make him buy you a drink. You know what I'm saying? You trying to be seen. But my thing is, that ain't finna get him over there quicker. It's one dude that's approaching you, and this don't always happen, but sometimes it approaches. Let's just say it's like 4 guys. You know what I'm saying? We all together, this and that. One dude go over there, talk to you. She ain't nothing, dog, this and that. And to the guy, the one that might really like you, like, she probably just don't like y'all. You know what I'm saying? He go shoot his shot, and that might be the guy that you like. Just giving, an example. But instead of that, you take the number of the guy, and knowing that there could be a guy that like you that might see you taking the number from someone else that you're not even interested in, that you finna ghost. And that look crazy to him. So now he don't approach you. That make a little bit more sense?
I mean, it can happen. But in today's day and age, I mean, that's everybody's on their phone. I could be getting your IG. I mean, I don't think that's going to ruin my shot if I have my phone like this and we're talking and I do this. I don't think that's going to ruin my shot because I could be doing 10,000 things.
I'm not saying that it's ruining your shot, but what I'm saying is, but now you want to put an extra effort to ghost a guy that you have no interest in. Hold on. You have no interest in whatever. So to me, you don't want to be called a bitch. I hear that part. You know what I'm saying? But you can respectfully decline. Look, I'm here to have a good time out with my girls. I appreciate that. I'm not interested in you.
But I feel like, too, I get what you're saying because I'd rather somebody be upfront with me, too. But I almost think that's like, I don't know the word for it, but I think that's almost just like...
honest?
No. In some places, that would make sense. To me, in a social atmosphere, I think that's a part of the atmosphere. Buying someone a drink, saying hello, and where are you from? I think that's really basic. Mm-hmm. I don't think that constitutes owing anybody anything. I don't think that constitutes or determines anything. Mm-hmm. I think when you go out, men and women are expected to get drinks, and I think men go out expecting to buy drinks. And I don't think that it should all the time be based on I only want to buy drinks for women that I could potentially fuck. I think that's actually pretty lame. Mm-hmm. If you were going to do that, I would rather you, I don't know.
And I think I found a disconnect right there.
Maybe be on a date with that specific person. Mm-hmm. I don't know, because the guy that I like is almost like the alpha male and the life of the party. I've never been out with a guy who was among a crowd and there were women in the crowd and he just bought one of the girls a drink. Mm-hmm. Now they started talking and they showed up together, yeah, he could separate himself. But if I'm there and I'm with 3 of my homegirls and there's a guy that's attracted to me, very seldom did the guy say, "What do you want?" He bought everybody a drink, and then if our connection ensued, he would continue to buy my drinks, and my girls was just on their own. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe that was just a part of their tactic to make everybody feel comfortable, which in turn would make his focus feel more comfortable if everybody there is chilling and her girls are comfortable and being like, "Oh, let's go, it's lame." He maybe did that to win everybody over and to have more points with her. So I could get why someone would do it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that I expect it, but I haven't often seen a guy just buy a drink for a girl he's ensuing the fuck. Mm-hmm. I've seen a guy buy several girls drinks, and then whichever one strikes. And when you go out, why not prepare for that? You might not fuck the first girl you buy a drink for. That's the part of the risk. That's the part of playing the game. So have your budget up to par so you could buy 3 drinks and 1 out of the 3 fuck. What's wrong with that?
Gotcha. That's a whole nother subject. We're going to go back to the original subject, which is accepting some shit from a guy that you have no interest in, to know how to turn them down. See, that what you talking about, I totally get. You know what I'm saying? I can't even stray from that. But that ain't what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? I could dig into that if you really want me to, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about you accepting a drink for someone that you have no interest in, and also, on top of that, giving that person your number. To have to turn around to, oh, he's calling, and then block that person. You see what I'm saying? That other thing that you're talking about,
I think women do it for the benefit of goodness. You might end up at the Waffle House if you give the right motherfucker your number. Tomorrow, I might not like you. But tonight, you iced out, you in VIP, bottles galore. You know what I'm saying? You're the guy of the hour. I'm getting the attention from you. I'm going to enjoy myself. Plus, we getting breakfast when we leave here. I'm good. But if I go home and I don't smash, oh well. And I don't think the guy who has it to spend is going to be mad. And I might change my mind the next morning. Hell, how many high value men change their mind within the first 10 minutes nowadays? How many high value men change their mind the next day? Like, no, shorty was ugly. She had on too much makeup. She looked different in the daylight, and y'all get ghosts too.
I'm not saying that it don't happen. I mean, I can't speak for all, and I would never say for all. But I can speak for me, and I can say that men in general, we take that type of gamble, and there have been times when you wake up and that's the case. But I never took a bitch number or bought a bitch a drink that I didn't want to smash. I didn't walk up to I didn't buy all her friends drinks based on a whim. Like, it's not a guarantee. But if a guy really wants some brownie points, that's the only way that happens, and you understand that risk. But it's not that I'm taking a risk, banking it on if the girl is gonna ghost me or not. I would at least want the straight up answer of I don't want to rock with you. Like, I don't even see nothing past this and that. Because if that was the case, I wanted to put in like a different perspective of, since, you know, it seemed like you kind of taking that scenario light. It's just like a man just really saying like, I don't really like this chick. You know what? I'm going to take her home and smash and then just get rid of her. You know what I'm saying? That's the risk that we take. Because that's the approach that it sounds like that you coming from. Because no woman would want that. Like, damn, you know, you smashed. Yeah, I really didn't like you. I just smashed you out.
That's been happening to us since we were 14 years old.
Just out of
that happens.
getting smashes, and then finding out like later on that he just never had no intention. No, you're talking about getting smashes and that. I'm saying the guy reveals to you like, I just had no complete interest in you. You know what I'm saying? I just took you home and smashed just because. Like, charity fucks happen. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about that. I'm saying he admits to you he had no interest in you, but still sampled your pussy. You know what I'm saying? Had no interest in you.
Not the sample.
Yeah, I had no. That's because that's kind of like what you're saying. Like, it's like I meet you at a club. I have no interest. I look right at you. You know what I'm saying? I would never see this bitch ever again. And then just take you home and sample you. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you trying to call me on
nah.
Block.
So are you saying you've never done that before?
I haven't done that.
Has anyone else out there done that?
I can't, but
I think there are probably quite a few men who have done just that.
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm saying we have to get to the conversation, or we at least having honest conversations where people can be in a place where everything is chill. You out there with your girls, you're having a good time. The guys is out having a good time, and not go to the point of the guy that's talking to you, you just absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt, you're not going to be rocking with him. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, like I said, the women on the panel said, well, one thing that happens to them is they just don't like the aggressiveness. Now, you a woman, mm-hmm. I'm not a woman. Mm-hmm. I can't say that, you know, me not being a woman, I know how that feel. I don't know if, because like if a woman approach a guy and you be like, I don't see you that way. They normally just turn away, turn around and go away.
No, they don't. I feel like I've been out with plenty of men who have been approached by women who will stop and just say, I don't know, You like the Cowboys? I'm a Cowboy fan. What's up? Guys know how to have camaraderie and good conversations with women without making them feel like shit for the approach. Oh, well, are you married? Yes, ma'am, I'm married. Even though he's not. That would be his way of rejecting her.
But that wasn't what I was talking about. I was saying I've never had a woman approach me and then I told her I wasn't interested in her and then she steady coming at me. Making me feel,
that doesn't happen.
Like making me feel uncomfortable.
That definitely doesn't happen.
So I'm saying is a woman, the women on that panel was saying, I can turn the guy down. I even tell you another thing that actually happened on the panel because this was something that was real interesting and I was like, you know what? I could understand the perspective of where she was coming from. One of the women on the panel was from Atlanta. Another one of the women was from New York. So she said, well, you're in New York. Because she said that, well, I would kill him with kindness. I would be like, hey, I appreciate it. It's nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really looking for anything. This is and that. And the chick said, try that shit in New York. She was like, because guys ain't trying to hear that shit. She was like, you can't kill a guy in New York with that type of kind of shit. They still gonna be coming at you like with the 1, 2, 3,
and they'll cuss you the fuck out.
3-2 punch.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, of course we would have had to beat her, but she was just giving an example that sometimes the reason she do is because I just rather take the number
to keep things copacetic.
Yeah, to keep shit smooth. Then I leave. And when he called, I block him.
And that has happened to me before, both. And it happened to be a dude from up north and a dude from down south. There is a big difference and I've had plenty of guys from down south to say, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Your smile, I really like you. And I was able to turn them down and still get a drink. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. I got a lot of respect for you. It's all good and we're straight. And then the same thing happens with a guy from up north and you think you all that and bitch, I wasn't really interested anyway. And just, he'll embarrass you. And it has happened to me on both ways. So she's not lying. So that is true. That is correct. So I guess depending on your demographic, how you respond is going to be different.
Now my thing was this. This is the only thing I felt like I need to bring up to kind of understand. Like, I understood her version of what she said, but also, man, there's different dating fields. To me, I feel like that happens when I hear females be like, I get cursed out, the guy was overly aggressive, and that they typically are young. Like, I don't feel like if you at a grown and sexy event that a guy, I ain't saying it can't happen, but I'm just saying that I don't feel that aggressiveness is going to be like that. So when I was hearing her tell that story, I was really saying to myself, like, I could see that happening in one of those ratchet type clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like when you,
and that's where it happens.
And to me, look where you at. Like this finna be the result of that. You see what I'm saying? Like if you in a club environment or an establishment where they like, hey, no sneakers, no hats, you gotta be dressed this and that. You really think that you could beat up a guy approach you and then he gonna curse you out? Of course fucking not. Like that's not gonna happen in that type of thing. So my thing is like, where you at?
Yeah, where you
and you're telling me that happened to you? My immediate reaction would be, okay, where the fuck were you when motherfuckers are cursing you out? Now, on the street, that's a different perspective, but
happens on the street too, and has happened to me on the street.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you really can't control that. That's like almost saying, oh fuck, I don't need to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell women this all the time. Like, women get hit on everywhere, grocery stores, gas stations, this and that. Like, it's a part of the game. Some guys, obviously, we don't like rejection, and then sometimes women. I'm gonna go back to what you were saying. Like, sometimes women play this game where it's kind of like y'all on the fence, and that's what the guy's doing. He's trying to tilt you off of the fence. So the first try might not go well, and then you kind of figuring it out. And I even tell, like, guys that, sometimes you got 60 seconds or less, almost like a minute to kind of impress them. And if you impress them and then they start laughing, that's what make the guy kind of put on, okay, like you sitting here, you talking to me, this and that. Like, come on, man, like, just give me your number. I don't really feel as Like, I could be different. I could be wrong. I don't feel that's that type of pressure. He's like, hey, just give me a shot, man.
Because
like,
it's still lighthearted. It's not. I've been literally followed around the club after one drink. That's aggressive. You understand what I'm saying? Then at the end of the club, it's like, what's up? Damn, you know what I'm saying? It's like, golly, you bought me one drink. Chill. You know what I'm saying? That's aggressive. What you are saying is you continued the conversation even though I was standoffish. We're supposed to be standoffish. With this, that's basic building blocks. You got to be prepared for somebody to be standoffish who don't know you. And we in a club, which causes you to be in my space for me to even hear you because it's loud. So approaching women in busy places like that, you should expect that they're going to be standoffish anyway.
I expect that, but again, now this is where I can step into play and I can say from my own experience. Again, it's where you from. You know what I'm saying? Me being from the South, I can honestly say I don't know where, like, you from the South. I don't know where you get your theory from because that theory that you have is complete bullshit. And you should know better. You being in the South know that there's no guy that's in the South that wants to buy you a drink without the intentions of smashing. And the thing with women in the South is, and I hear this all the time, it's like the guy will buy them a drink, and then they know they just skip off with the drink, and then they be wondering like why the guy is kind of following. But the reason I'm saying that
you bought me a drink, God, you're following me around.
But this isn't what I'm saying. Just listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, again, it is age and stuff like that. But another thing is like when I was in Philly, I noticed that the guys in Philly did do what you were saying. They bought the table drinks. It's like 4 women at the table, this and that. But I just think that that's the thing that depending on where you are, sometimes that's a thing and sometimes that's not. You know, like with me having a daughter, I tell my daughter that don't accept drinks from a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you in the South, don't accept drinks from a guy if you have no intentions of, you know what I'm saying, going any further with that. Because the difference is this. You would take yourself out of that whole scenario of it feeling creepy to you if it's already a guy you like. Instead of accepting a drink from a guy that you have no intentions with, because his intention is he like you. And his way of showing you that he like you is, look, I like you. And we in a club. And I've heard women say this. I can't really talk in a club. So his way to... is trying to say I like you is to get you a drink. He ain't getting a drink because, well, shit, I just want to be nice for this woman. You know what I'm saying? That's not why you're doing that.
No, you're buying me a drink because, one, you smell me and I smell really good. And then you hear me talking to the bartender, ordering my drink, and you're like, damn, she's really well spoken. Then you happen to see my face and you're like, damn, all her teeth are white. She's pretty. I'm going to buy her a drink. That's your first impression. You're going to buy me a drink, and then that's going to lead to conversation to see if if it makes sense for you to ask for my number. And that's what you should be willing to do when you go out.
I mean, you can't tell a man what to do. If that's the case, we can get to know how we like each other without me buying the drink. I'm just giving the real scenario.
I'm
just saying, we can get the real scenario. I don't need all that just to get turned down to be like, because I'm just saying, because my thing is like what you did is to me, and I'm just gonna be real now. What you just did was like you was feeling yourself. And to me, when you started going down this list, like, oh, well, this guy looks at me like, it's like almost like y'all have this shit in y'all mind like it's a movie and shit. It's like you become slow motion and with your hair, you full of shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no guy looking, ain't no guy looking like, unless that's the woman you look at and you like, damn, I think I want to marry her. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
there are that moment when you've seen somebody and she's like, the soundtrack of love is playing and you're like, oh my God, where is this bitch from?
Hell no.
Come on.
Definitely not in the club.
Yeah.
Okay, the post office, the grocery store, wherever. Yeah. But you've seen someone that you were like, you didn't know how it was going to go.
But cameraman made a point. Definitely not in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen one time, like, it was this skit. And like, he's right. You know, guys are like that. Like, when we hit into a club, I ain't never seen a guy that walked into the club and was like, look at all these relationships I can get in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never seen no dude step into a club and think that. He's thinking, hey, I'm having fun. You know what I'm saying? It's potentially someone I could hook up with.
But just like he's there with his boys, the girl could be there with a fucking lawyer off duty. That could be Mrs. What are you talking about?
She could be, but I'm not losing a drink behind it. You know what I'm saying?
He wrong for that.
I'm not losing. No, I'm saying to get ghosted. I'm not. I want you. I want. And that. But what I'm saying is, there's no need to lie about the shit. Like that's all I'm saying. It's like there's no need to lie behind it. Like I don't want the people to get set on like, well, damn, he won't buy a drink. It's not what I'm saying about buying a drink. What I'm saying is, you entertaining someone that you have no interest or like or anything, and you already know that. There's still guys that you go in the club and was like, oh shit, look at dude right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the one you really want to buy the drink. I'm saying, why accept a drink to have to go through the motion of, I don't really like
because
it.
That's what I'm there for. That's what I'm look.
You there? So you're there.
I'm not getting dressed for that. Getting dressed and smelling good and putting out my very best for that one guy out of 1,000 people to notice me. I'm there so that everybody does.
Gotcha.
That's my intent. Now I know everybody in the club ain't looking.
Are you fucking everybody in the club?
One motherfucker, no.
Okay.
But I didn't get dressed for just one motherfucker either.
So I got you. But you got dressed for one motherfucker to lie to him. That's my point. Like that's what you're saying is okay. My thing is like you can get dressed for whoever you want. You can look as nice as you want, this and that. What I'm saying is, why put on the theatrics? Because what I'm saying,
theatrics.
Yes, it is. Because what go on in the club is this: the guy that approached you comes there, he's right in front of you, and you turn around and you was like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? And you want to escape, you want to run, but now you finna put on the theatrics of, look at his teeth. Look at his shoes. Now, look at this shirt that he wearing. There is no fucking way I would. And he is sitting here talking to me. And then you might get hit with his breath. Now you like, instead of just saying, listen, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all entertain this shit. Give them the number. You know what I'm saying?
I had somebody with the listen, I'm good. The breathless thing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but entertaining this shit. And that shit would never happen to a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like even it's something as simple as Friday. When Smokey saw old girl talking about she looked like Janet Jackson, he like, Janet Jackson? Are you out of your mind? You know what I'm saying?
But she still smashed.
Who still smashed?
He still got her number.
No, old girl gave her the number. He hadn't seen her yet. He hadn't seen her yet. And he told her the truth. He
didn't tell her to kick rocks either, though.
He did. What movie you watch?
He didn't tell the girl to kick rocks. I think
He said, don't ever
say that to the other girl. But he didn't say that to her.
Say it to who?
To the chick that he was trying to ghost. He was nice to her. I don't remember him being mean to her.
If she didn't well, he wasn't being mean. He was being honest, and that's what I'm saying. He was being honest about. You say you look like Janet Jackson. Shit. Yeah, I mean, you gonna get no better than that. Even when she took that motherfucking them braids off, you know what I'm saying, and she was fully bald headed. I don't know what you talking about. And then he did tell her, don't you ever come around here. You know
right, but he didn't say it as in, I'm not going to fuck you. He's saying, I'm going to fuck you on the low, but don't come over here. Knowing Smokey, he smashed.
Nah, negative no.
He didn't.
Yeah. Sorry.
I don't know why y'all were trying to hide the big girls.
He called her Freddie Jackson.
yeah.
She didn't drive off in her car like someone stole her balloon.
But most fat girls,
she drove off feeling like she was about to get some smoky dick.
Fat girls are like that. They more ambitious than women that are. I'm just being. Come on now. Now we finna act like we finna act like the big girls are not more aggressive. Than they. I'm just saying we finna act like the big girls are not more aggressive. If anything that a guy know, and there's no guy right now, even guys on the line, you got 4 women out. And if one of them, the heavy set one, that's the one that's like, come on. I got you, Big Daddy. Come on over here to mama. Ain't no skinny girl or no fine girl. Ain't no skinny girl or no medium girl like that finna do no shit like that. She want to get chased. The big girls will do the chasing. Now let's stop it now.
So we're gonna switch topics because we just are. The second topic of the night is the value of coochie or lack thereof. So the conversation for a while, this whole year and last year, I think, has been about the high value man. Okay? And I just recently had a talk with one who actually, I spoke to 2 guys, and both of them put very little value on vagina. Very, very little. Now, when I was thinking, is this a good thing or a bad thing? When I thought myself as a woman in the dating game, I would say my coochie is about 51% of a guy pursuing me to want to be in a relationship with me and fuck me over a long period of time. My pussy gotta be, as a part of my value, at least 51%. And I think the other 49% is my intellect, my environment, my career, basically the environment I'm in. So when a guy looks at me as far as the package is concerned, 51% got to be the sex game. Is it up to par? 49% is who is she character-wise and what she got going on. And so when they didn't reach my 51%, I was a bit offended because it was like we used 6,000 as the max and 40 as the low, and one guy said I value it at 0, and then the wealthy guy, said he valued it at $100, and we're talking about the highest being 6,000 and the lowest being 40, and so I felt some type of way, and I hate to say that. I mean, we've been promoting for women power of the P, pussy got a lot of power in it. But I don't know if that's beginning to shift, I feel like. Because like I said, I talked to these 2 people and they are saying that pussy has absolutely no power to them at all. 0, zilch, nada. And that was a bit interesting, being that I gave myself and my sex game at least 51% of my worth.
That's interesting. Very interesting. When we very first was talking about this topic, I was listening to a lady that said that she was talking to women. She was basically like, come on, girls, like, I understand that, you're supposed to look at yourself with high self-esteem. You look at yourself as there's anything that you can't achieve. But just like how you just said, I mean, would you say 51%?
51% is sex.
Well, got you. But what I'm saying is, like, you're taking that your sex game is good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where we getting a little fickle at. And that's where we starting to get delusional at. Because there's not a lot of women that you can line up in a row. I can line 20 of them up. How's your pussy? A1. How's your pussy? A1. How's your pussy? A1. How's your pussy? A1. You know what I'm saying? Like, every woman think that they pussy is the $6,000 experience. Like, if you experience me, it's worth $6,000. And that's kind of what she was saying. Mm-hmm. She was saying, like, we think we got $6,000 worth of pussy when we really got $40 worth of pussy. Now, even in the guys you spoke to, I spoke to them too, and the difference is I knew exactly where it was. Now, when we broke it down, I was like, trying to figure out why the woman thinks her pussy, that's the real question. Like, why do every woman think that they pussy is A1? Because even when I was talking to a woman, she was like, but I feel like my pussy is $6,000. And I'm like, how? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why would you think that? And she was like, because I'm going to give it to you. How? Because I'm thinking to myself, like, let's just say, for instance, like if I bought an escort, okay, for $6,000. I wouldn't do it, but let's just say that I did. If I was to do that, to me, and I'm just speaking from a guy, I want every ounce of my money. But could you give me every ounce of that back? And just because a woman say that she can, that doesn't necessarily mean that she can. Can you put a dick way down your throat without gagging? I think I can line 10 up and 10 of them probably can't. You know what I'm saying? Can you squirt? Is your pussy tight? This is an experience for me that I'm buying. So what I'm saying is, like, you're putting yourself on a valid point, which I understand that. But I don't really feel like guys even into they mind like that, because there's a rating scale for guys, which for women is inches. That doesn't mean that their sex is good, but I don't see men with 4-inch dicks just whipping them out. You see what I'm saying? Like if you was dealing with a guy or you came across a guy, if he whooped his dick out, that's because
he knows it's big.
But what I'm saying is, but how does he know it's big?
Someone told him.
There you go.
And someone also told me that my pussy was good.
Gotcha.
And that's all it took.
Gotcha. But this is what I just said. Rating scale. This is where it gets. This is where we come into ground of reality. Because what you just said was, he said his dick was big. She didn't say his dick was good. This is the problem right here. This is what women don't get. Like you just said that I was told it was good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, what kind of good is what we're talking about? Because McDonald's fries are good. Checkers fries could be better. I'm just giving an example. But we don't go around saying to women like, your pussy is okay. I've had better because I had like a 4'11" woman who squirted who was a little bit tighter than you. But your shit is straight. You know what I'm saying? Because I think if we put that in more of a perspective for women, then they'll start to see where they range at. We just let women just get away with the idea of like, because we were in that space and we're just saying, yeah, it was not bad. You know what I'm saying? It was good. But y'all be acting like it was Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. It was great. And it wasn't.
You know what?
I just said it was good.
I don't like that. I don't. Because my pussy gonna give what it's supposed to give.
Gotcha.
And so it's gonna be rated on what it gives. I think men know every vagina doesn't squirt. But if there's something else, like it creams like hell and it's hot, then that takes the place of the squirt, doesn't it?
No.
Why?
All depends on the man you dealing with and what they want. That's it.
Yeah. Because
just like dicks, they're different. Pussies are different too.
Yeah. And
guess what? There's big pussies out there.
And also and also want to keep them
big.
And also want to keep this in perspective too. The main reason why is because how you just talked about that, there's some guys that don't like to be squirted on. They actually feel it's repulsive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've met guys that, you know, when they run into a woman that squirted on them, they like, I ain't even know what to do. I froze up and I ain't know if she peed on me. I got, you know, they got into a situation. So that means that experience for that guy is a bad experience.
Yeah, it's not a.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the girl might feel like, damn, I squirted, and she might have came out of a relationship or was dealing with a guy that liked to squirted. That just told her that was everything. Damn, this shit is everything. So that's why I'm trying to explain to you when you say why, it's because to the guy before her, it was good. To the guy before her, he was excited by her squirting. He liked that experience.
But not the guy currently.
But now you dealing with a new guy, and for him, he's repulsed by it. But does that mean her pussy not good or not great? But what I'm saying is like, but women kind of walk around with this idea that I just got great pussy, and I don't feel like they push themselves to their greatness a lot of times because they already feel that they great, so they become a little stagnant. Because even when I was talking to this young lady, she was like, "Well, I feel like that," and I said to her, I said, "Well, what if the guy don't like missionary? What if he like to put you in the butt and pound the shit out of you? What if he want to get you doggy style? What if you want to put your head off the bed and ram it down your throat?" And she was like, "Yeah, no." And now his experience ain't the experience that he want. And that ain't $6,000 worth. So you don't have a $6,000 pussy. You have a $40 experience. And
I think that's yet to be determined. I think the longer you have sex with a person...
Oh, shit.
Listen.
Okay. Damn.
I think that when you meet someone, they're going to have probably a sex game that you're not used to because you've never been with them before. But I think the more and more you're with that person, realistically, I don't think we ever end up with Fabio. And I'm just using that as, or Idris. We have fantasies still. There are things that we probably get off on that will never happen in our bedroom in real life, and that's okay. I think the longer that you're having sex with your partner, the more in tune you become to how to make love to that person. And I think that could take you to the moon. I think that could give you an awesome orgasm if you're a pleaser. If you are a man that wants to please a woman anyway, and you know banging her out don't make her come, you don't want to do that anyways. But based on what her pussy gives you, you can say the sex, at least, if we're rating the sex. I think the conversation is more specific to the pussy. But if you're rating the sex, it's okay to still give her 6,000 points based on what she could give, based on what her vagina does. It's okay to value it there. You can't devalue it because you can't pound her. Well, if you pound her, she ain't gonna come, and you like to make women come. So it's kind of like, it's not making sense what you're saying if you know that what you really ultimately like doing doesn't really please the woman anyways.
No, it makes perfect sense. But it just doesn't make sense for the women. Because for the women, the reason what you saying is what a guy have to go through on a basis, and then in reverse you're saying like, well, women don't have to do that. Because like when a man don't have a good tongue game, that's exposed. You can give him $6,000 for the try, but does a woman do that? Absolutely fucking not. Hey, you're using too much tongue. Oh, wait a minute. You're gonna have to, you know what? Just stop. You know what I'm saying? And then everything is abrupt and it comes to an end. But let's just say, for instance, like if guys was to do that. Like, wait a minute. I don't think I feel both of your walls. Hold on just for a second. You know what? There is not a sweet spot at the end of this rainbow. And then everything came to an abrupt end. But and keep in mind, this is the biggest thing. When we was talking to those guys, obviously their experiences are different. Because a lot of times women also get confused by this. And this is why I bring you into play. The guy that could have told you, you know, that your pussy is good, what is his body count? You know what I'm saying? Because if you really haven't experienced a lot of pussy, he doesn't know what good pussy is. Versus a guy that's experienced. You know what I'm saying? Because a guy that's experienced, that got a high body count and then been through them, he know what it is. And I think a lot of times women feel like a lot of guys just like rack up these bodies and be knowing that. But if you was to kind of dig a little bit or let him tell you honestly, because some dudes, they just be happy to be there. If I'm being completely honest. Like, if they don't really get pussy, they are happy to be there. Just in the space of just fucking. They're just happy to be there. Versus someone that's like, I could get you on a Saturday and never double back to you. You know why? Because I got something coming through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The attitude is going to be different. But if you know that and you know that your pussy ain't A1 like that versus how y'all going to it, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about, you just said, well, over time they go through that. But if you think your pussy is good already, over time does nothing. Because you already think you A1. So you don't elevate to become better. You stay stagnant. Because you like, well, the last guy liked what I had, so he better like what I got. Not saying it like that, but what I'm saying is that's how y'all going to it.
No, you just accept what your vagina can do and what it can't do. Just like you accept what your dick can and cannot do. That's all that is. I don't think it's getting complacent, but
that's the difference between a woman and a guy.
If I haven't squirted by 21, I've accepted that I'm not a squirter. Now, I might take a Karma Sutra class where it might happen, but I think you've done all your masturbating, you've had your promiscuous stage. I think you could pretty much determine that, hey, I am not a squirter, and you accept that.
You can, but that's the thing. Women don't accept that because we just talked about women thinking that they A1. So the thing is, like when you talked about a man, this is the difference. You said, well, a man can accept that. That is real deal. If a man know his dick is small, and we all know this, you got girlfriends your goddamn self. So you know, a guy knows if his dick is small, what do most women often say? That nigga tongue game is on point. And I should have known something was wrong because he was down there for so long. By the time he came up, I should have known something was wrong. Yeah. And the reason he know that is because he's trying to compensate for what he don't have to make up on those points that you're talking about.
What I do is ask a guy, I'm like, do you think you're better at, what do you enjoy doing more? Because that's all he would do. So I would say, what do you enjoy doing more? Do you like eating pussy or you like fucking? And when he said he liked eating pussy, I knew then he had a little dick. And see, I never had to see it.
And that's what I'm talking about right there. So my thing is like, if you say to yourself, my pussy is A1, so pretty much going from the standard of what you saying, my pussy can only give what it can give.
What it can give,
But we're talking about the sexual experience. So if your pussy is not A1 like that, what that mouth do? You know what I'm saying? What are the other ways that you can turn me on besides?
I've been saying that the whole time, though.
But if you think your pussy is A1, you just trying to get a pussy up to the dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, some females think that my shit is A1. Like, the minute that head go in, they think the clouds part and then are you out of your mind?
Nope.
I got my own personal question. Fuck this.
It does make no sense.
For both of y'all, in y'all experience, how many men, how many women have y'all experienced that had good head and pussy?
Oh, I can name.
And I'm talking about like had both. And I'm talking about came through with both.
Came through with
I have
both.
quite a few.
Shit, that's rare for women.
Exactly.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's rare.
That is nuts.
As a male, it is very rare.
Yeah, that's rare for a man because the thing with women is that's what I was just saying. Like, they lack in one area or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they got real good pussy, typically their head game is okay. That's not trash. That's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about there's head that guys know what I'm talking about. That Gaga 3000. Like, when guys get that, you like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? The soul have left the building. You know what I'm saying? Like women, every woman can't pull your soul out. They think they can. But when you run into a real soul snatcher, you like, oh my God. That you gotta call your homeboy once you recover. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes vice versa for, vagina. Like, there's some vagina that once you get in it, for the minute you get in, you be like, shit, you probably got motherfuckers killing over this shit. Like, you walking around with this detonator in between your legs. Like, that, you know what I'm saying? But some women think they got all detonators, you know what I'm saying? And that's not true. So to me, they lack of trying to get better comes from, like you just said, this one guy that told them that they had good pussy, and then you just proceed with that to the next guy, to the next guy, to the next guy, until one day one tell you your pussy okay, and you like, how? Why?
Yeah, that was devastating.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And he's telling the truth, but it's because this guy might be a little bit or a lot more experienced than the guy that just told you was good. Because if you was to ask the guy how is she good, he might say fuck around and say some shit like, but it was wet. That's it? They get wet, dog. That's what they're supposed to do. Give me something else that made her climb. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you do guys, I can't speak for women, but guys, if you ask a guy, guys sometimes have that one memory of this one chick that you just like, damn, she was number one on my list. Or she was number two. Well, it's like that for a reason. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're on the list for a reason. They ain't just arrive at that motherfucker because they just was given what they could give. No. They're there because it was something about their pussy, something the way they gave it to you, something the way they felt, something the way that it was that you didn't experience with any other person. So that's how they climbed the ranks above all these women that you've been with. And I've been with a lot of women, and that still got like a top 3 list.
That still puts us at odds on the topic at why it has lost its value to begin with.
I can tell you why it lost its value.
You understand? Vagina makes up a great deal of your part for a man, I would assume. Mm-hmm. That if he's locked down a female, 51% of why he locked her down is because they're sexually compatible.
Probably. Without
taking the context that it was the best he's ever had, he's still in a committed relationship. He's decided to keep fucking this bitch or this chick or this lady. Excuse me, y'all. I'm a little rough around the edges. To keep someone and to keep having sex with them, I would feel like then they agree with me. Yeah, 51% of why I'm willing to have sex with her over and over again is because the pussy good.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say. You got to remember this. I told you from the beginning, I'm sticking by this. A lot of guys are not experienced like that. Now, when we come to
everybody I've dealt with has had an experience, and
but
no
some
one
guys-
has told me my
some-
pussy's just okay.
some guys, they might have not been experienced. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Why would I don't
like,
fuck with guys that aren't experienced.
that's what you feel. You might feel that way. There's no way that you gonna tell me. I bet you if I ask your current man, hey, any of her exes looked lame to you, he gonna be like, bro. Like, come on, nigga. I had to meet a couple that was like, how in the fuck you let them fuck? So you can stop with your nonsense right there. Now, we'll come a little bit back to what you were saying as far as like how it's lost its value. How pussy has lost its value is that it's in abundance now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main reason. Like, when you looked at like your grandparents and shit like that, you have to remember like the reason they married is because pussy wasn't in abundance like that. That's how you got pussy. You got pussy by marrying them. And then you just locked in and you like, hey, I got in-house pussy. Because, you know, let's keep it real. Like, you know, men like in-house pussy. Some. Not all, but some. But now we bring it to 2022. Boy, look here. Women out here like men. They think they can throw a catcher's mitt around and around and around and around. And they feel like they men. Like, they feel like they can fuck 30 dudes and look at you with a straight face and be like, that's not a lot of men. You know what I'm saying? Now, based on your age and whatever the case may be, does a man really want to walk down the aisle with you and your body count is 30 and 40 and 50 and shit like that? No. You know what I'm saying? The reason why some dudes back out of the shit, the experience for him with a female that probably had 50 bodies could be good, but she been had them training wheels off. You see what I'm saying? She been in the trenches. She know how to take this dick that's 13 and take this dick that's 7 and take this dick that's 8. Like, she know how to do that shit. Versus someone who really don't have that much experience. And sometimes guys actually like that. They like the idea of having to teach the woman what to do. For the woman, her comeback to be like, I've never experienced that before. I never had that before. Some guys like that for their ego. But now it's such an abundance, like, motherfucking women now have one night stands like it ain't nothing, like they men. You know what I'm saying? Some of them calling their friends like, girl, I think I got something. You know what I'm saying? This is shit like dudes would normally say. But now it's like women saying that to other women. Like, girl, I had to go get tested. I think he gave me something. You know what I'm saying? This is like guy talk. This is how men normally sound. But now it's like, this is how women sound. Look what's going on social media. What are they selling? Bitch get their body done. Very first thing they do, they want to set their thirst trap. This is what I used to look like. This is what I look like now. See what I'm saying? Like, that's a thirst trap that you setting. And then and then had a nerve to be like, I don't know how people don't take me serious. Are you fucking serious? You know what I'm saying? Like, men, you would say that's lame for a man to do. You know what I'm saying? I know, understand we in different age and shit like that. But what if a man was just like, this is what I look like. This is what I look like. And this is what I look like now. They'd be like, this motherfucker looks so lame. And I'm trying to figure out like why women don't think, some men think the same shit. Like, when I see shit like that, I'm like, damn, you was that thirsty that you had to set that trap up. And even if you don't take bait to it and no shit like that, it just looks crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I understand women want attention. We get all that. They want to get on social media and that. But I'm just saying, for those women that's sitting there saying like, I don't understand why people don't take me serious, is because online, the guy's taking a gamble because we can't sit there and look at you because you're showing your body that you're saying, well, this is what books I read. That ain't what you posting. You ain't posting that. You posting your whole body. So now we're just saying to ourselves like, well, I just want the sexual experience. And if the sexual experience ain't that, then we just throw you away.
I'm very proud of you for using the word vagina tonight. Do you realize you did that?
I said pussy a lot of times.
But you said vagina, and I'm like super proud. That's putting value. Speaking about our anatomy in the proper way.
First of all, you can stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? Pussy, vagina, it really don't even matter what it is.
It's a vagina.
It's not putting no proper value on anything. I was just calling it what it is by scientific terms. That's all that shit was right there. Now, but I noticed that you hadn't had no comeback from when I was like, a bunch of this pussy is being thrown out here. I ain't hear no comeback.
It is common. It is not a commodity like it used to be, where you were right. I disagree with you. I think one of my comments earlier was women aren't looked at the way my grandfather looked at his wife. You know, it's just to hear these two men, you know, the guy that put zero value on the vagina don't even look like nothing. I wouldn't give him my number if he was the last motherfucker on the planet. And when he said that he values pussy at a 0, I was floored. And then go to the other extreme. So this guy wasn't attractive. To go to the other extreme and have damn near a millionaire who could afford probably the most beautiful woman in the world. He could pay for what he wants. So for him to say he values pussy at about $100 or 100 points out of 6,000 just made me feel sad for us. And that made me feel like I'm glad that I had decided, one, not to become a mom, but if I was, I would pick having a son over picking a daughter, because I feel like we're going in the way of Handmaid's Tale. If men are, isn't that the name of it? Not Handmaid's Tale. It's the thing on the thing on TV, the show.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I just don't want to misspeak the show.
Just say what you're saying, because we don't know what you're talking about.
It's the show where women are basically used for breeding, because that's basically what the man sees their value as.
Yeah, that's Handmaid's Tale.
Okay, so you're on this planet to reproduce. We don't see any other value in you than that. To where they even said sex for pleasure is a sin. They don't even want it for pleasure. And we know that wasn't true, because we see people in that series actually cheating and having sex for pleasure. But still, in order to mandate that, something happened. And that was the woman lost her value. And even at your lowest, a woman who has lost her home, her car, her husband, and kids, another woman that's on the stroll would tell her, all is not lost. You got a pussy. At the end of the day, that's your gold mine. Whether we got the message from our mom, our auntie, or our friend at school, that's always been the message. So to see now that narrative has changed is shocking, because there is no power in the P, according to these two people that I spoke to tonight, according to high value men that are now speaking out on social media, according to Kevin Samuels. Yo, pussy ain't all that.
And that's what I'm saying. Some women have to be hit with the cold fact that, you know, the experience that you think that the man is having is not actually the experience that he's having. Now, it does get to where you saying we're a connection and a bond and everything. Yeah. And that's what sometimes guys do. But I'm saying to say, hey, my pussy is just A1 and you sticking with that. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, if I tell you some of the things my ladies do that turn me off, that she be thinking de turning me on, is really because she think her shit is like really good like that. You know what I'm saying? But then I'll be like, sometimes I might be in the mood and she might be around this bitch singing and trying to set the mood and shit. And I'll be like, damn, that just turned me off. But it's because it might be the music that she playing, because we don't vibe on the same type of music or some shit like that. Or she might say something that's just like, this ain't my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're going to fuck me tonight? Like, and be like, okay, I got to psych myself into this. You know what I'm saying? So you got to remember those type of things that, you know, like you might have to sit down with the person that you with to kind of make your sex game better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bought her an outfit. I seen that outfit one time. Other than that, she wearing shit that I don't like. But, you know, come see, come saw. It is what it is. You got to tap in.
I got a good tap in tonight. And this was one that just came through today. A young lady was talking to me and she said, I just want to tell you this story and I want to know your opinion. What would you do? Am I tripping? So her and her guy just hit a bump in the road. He cheated on her. And she had asked him, you know, are you sleeping with someone else? Because she had intuition that he was sleeping around. And he said no and guaranteed her. And their relationship continued. And then he came home one day and said, you need to go to the doctor. And come to find out, he had given her gonorrhea. So this is the way he confessed that he was cheating, is that, hey, you know, you need to go get tested and get medication. That's what he told her. He didn't say go to the doctor. He said you need to get some medicine. Okay. And so 2 weeks passed. They both been on their medication. They're clean now. and they happen to be now in the same space, and they hadn't been in the same space for weeks for obvious reasons. They can't fuck. They're mad at each other. So they get back together, and he is, of course, initiating sex. And in her mind, she can't get back to where they were. She can't make herself get undressed. She is still thinking about the fact that he gave her an STD. And now you're about to embark on this same relationship without a condom again. Didn't make sense to her. So it stopped her. But she still was horny, she said. So she was like, I stayed because I thought eventually I could spend enough time with him that I would want to have sex with him again. He ended up taking his dick out, jacking off, and coming on her while she was fully fucking dressed. So a couple of things she said she felt. She felt disrespected because you should be okay with me not being ready yet because of what you did. But you were so focused on yourself that you were like, fuck it. You ain't want to fuck. You ain't ready. I am. So she took it as disrespect. Number two, she felt like it was selfish. I'm horny too. I've been on this medicine for 2 weeks just like you have. I ain't fucking with nobody. I need to get fucked. You got the nerve to bust a nut and I didn't? So she felt like that was pretty selfish. But she also said in a way she felt relieved because now the battle of should I or shouldn't I was over because he had busted a nut. So I ain't got to fuck you now. So you made the decision easier for me. But she said she was going through such an array of emotions. She wanted my opinion on it. I got angry, to tell you the truth, because I thought what she felt was spot on. I would have been pissed the fuck off because one, how is your mind even there yet if I'm not matching you? If my energy is not matching your sexual energy after what you did, then your sexual energy got to go on the back motherfucking burner. If I ain't ready, your ass shouldn't be goddamn ready. Jack off after I fucking leave. I'm horny as fuck, but I can't even fuck who I fuck with because my trust is, you burnt me. So now you burnt me, I'm dealing with it, and you are selfish enough to take your dick out and jack off and come on me fully clothed. She said she was on her way to work. She had to go home and change fucking clothes. Listen, I would have lost my shit. I would have had to call in. That's how upset that would have made me. And I don't think I was really in the right place. I don't think I'm in the right place now to give her advice because it angered me. And I don't think you give good advice to your friends when you're angry. You understand what I'm saying? So I refrained and just said that we would talk about it later because I didn't know where to even come from, except for I'm sorry that happened to you.
Gotcha. So your question to me is what?
I don't have a question, but that's the tap in. What do you guys got to say about it?
Oh, okay. Well, this is really like a no-brainer. Someone burned me over with. I ain't even, that's not even, I've gotten rid of chicks for less, but that right there, there's nothing to revisit. Not with me. You burn me, it's over. That's just simple and plain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think I can erase that out of my head that you did that and had the nerve to do it. And better yet, lie about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just like a triple combo for me. You're just taking it too far. If I got a feeling that you fucking someone else, then I ask you. And I've done that. You know what I'm saying? Even the females. Here's a clue for y'all females that don't know this. For females out here that think that men can't tell if I've been with somebody else because y'all feel like y'all can break y'all walls down and dush and all that. That's a myth and that's a lie. A dicksman can tell. So don't believe that hype. But anyway, when you have that about you and you just say to yourself, have you been with anybody else? And we having sex unprotected. If you're going to do that, at least have common sense to protect yourself. Don't bring no shit back to me. So to me, that's a dead issue. Once you cross that line and on top of that, you lied about it. Once I ask you about it, it ain't nothing to talk about. So I don't know what advice you didn't give her because all you had to do was give her advice of he just don't respect you.
Yeah, he doesn't.
And that's
what
it is.
She should definitely get herself out of that situation. And maybe if I was more level-headed, I would have been able to ask her why she felt obligated to go back, to put herself in a situation where she was questioning having sex with him again. Yeah. Because one, giving me a STD would have turned me off. Yeah. Giving me an STD would have turned me off.
Yeah.
But what would have even turned me off more is him jacking off like that and coming on my clothes, like having the nerve to be.
I mean, I would have to know what they into. If that's something they normally do.
Well, she sounded just as grossed out as me and just wanted to make sure she wasn't tripping.
I got it, but that could be from just the STD scenario. Like if they came on each other's clothes, or he used to do that on a regular. Like I'm not judging. Some motherfuckers do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I
just think he has been,
I got you.
STD or not, been looking at porn every night.
Yeah.
And he was at his max and he blew a torch. And my thing is, while he probably shouldn't have been looking at porn, he should have been getting some self-help, reading a self-help book, and really coming to terms with what the fuck he did. Not trying to figure out when he gonna be able to fuck again. And that is the top of the hour, guys. This has been a new episode of Relations. Thanks for watching. You can find me at IG and at Twitter at Kane Lassiter.
Hey, you can find your boy on both platforms. That's Twitter and IG. Handle 51 State. I want to thank everybody for joining us on TikTok. Subscribe and like to the channel. It'll help us out. You'll get notified too, because the show will be coming on at 8 o'clock and on Fridays. That's otherwise specifically told or notified. Hey, you looking for these shirts, man? You can get it at Alpha Male God Creations. And again, I'm gonna take us out like I always do. Thanks for joining. And like I always say about this